Let me fix your hair, Gary.
Would you? Thank you. You missed one.
Speaking of a hair, there was one right there. That is so depressing.
It's still there.
It. Shut up! It is not.
No, it's there.
I took tweezers. I was starting a unibrow.
You were a unicorn.
How does it? I don't even have that many eyebrows, and one went right there. That's so depressing, y'all. So depressing. Hey, can you see us? Are we on? Is this thing on?
Hello.
It's like how I always start things. Is this thing on? Can you see me now? Can you see me now?
I think that's how everybody starts.
We're in the daytime.
It's weird.
I don't even know how to act.
I just woke up.
Oh, you have a beautiful glow from the window back there. Sorry, the sun shifted.
I don't care.
Gary Chapman does not have a halo. That is just special effects.
I can if I get positioned just right.
No, he does not.
Oh, that's not bad right there.
You guys, this is an exciting day for me.
Look.
Yeah, that is so scary.
I've got a glow.
Yeah. Let's get Cassie over here. We'll ask about the halo. Now, Eva Rose will say, yeah, you have a halo, but Cassie seems so real to me.
She's extremely real.
That's what I love. And she's just naturally beautiful. I don't know if I like that part. But
yeah, that's annoying.
Those women
as a woman, scare me. For me, I like it.
Yeah,
I can see how
of course
you would not
do.
be
But as a woman who has to work to look like this, I know it's hard for you to believe, but I don't wake up looking like this. By the way.
What?
I may have met someone.
Let's hear this.
COVID. Well, a friend of a friend mentioned me to him, and he called me.
What did he call you?
I'm not gonna tell you.
No, is he local?
He called me.
Are you going to tell me who it is?
He lives in Louisiana.
Oh, Cajun. All right.
And
can he cook?
I don't know yet.
Can he hunt?
I don't know that either.
Well,
I don't know a whole lot except that he's a banker.
Doesn't matter if he can cook or hunt.
Well, it's nice to meet someone that doesn't need your money, because then you aren't suspicious that.
No, I get it.
Even though I don't have that much, and he could have my money if he was the one. He could have my money.
That's the beautiful thing about being broke.
You don't care.
No.
Cassie is not loving you.
She definitely loves me for my incredible charm and hair.
Yeah, you know why she's here. That's exactly right. And let me tell you why we're here today. We've been doing this at night, but today our special guest had a scheduling thing, and so instead of recording her, we just decided we'd just go live with y'all, and we'd all jump in on this together.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I've got some interesting feedback from people about us talking to Marsha Blackburn.
Good and bad, I'm sure.
Senator Marsha Blackburn.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in Washington. I don't know that you've noticed. My questions to her are going to be about how she's keeping her roots done.
You know, so here's the sum total of our preparation for this important interview. We haven't. So
yes, we're probably the only. Well,
I mean, people would expect this to be pretty much a fluff piece. We should have something really impressing to ask her that puts her in a corner.
No, that's kidding. My friend.
I'm just joking. I don't mean that. But we shouldn't just be, like, oh, you're the best. That would be weird too. So we'll be funny. No. You know what we can ask about?
What?
Let's ask about the Mike Flynn thing.
Oh, yeah. Because, it's not getting a whole lot of news.
Here, we're about to break it.
Because
break it like the wind.
There's a whole lot of things that don't get a lot. Here's what I want to talk about is.
You just went right past break it like the wind. That was funny.
Because you're a boy.
Okay, go ahead.
All boys do fart jokes. Look, here's the thing. I'm a gig employee.
Yeah.
You're an entrepreneur and a musician, but if I don't work, I don't get paid. Mm-hmm. Why are we paying Congress?
I wouldn't pay them.
They're not working.
No.
So I think they should be gig.
And when they leave office, absolutely don't pay them.
Do they get paid even after they leave?
From now on.
They get paid forever?
Full boat salary from now on.
Forever?
Pretty sure.
Even when they're not in office? Somebody
go online and check it out and see if I'm right, but I think that's true.
Y'all.
Lifetime health care, lifetime salary, all of it.
Are you kidding? Is that true, Glenda? Do you know this? My
searching.
Secretary is over there writing the comments down right now so we don't miss him. And I'm sorry we miss him all the time because I take my glasses off And then, we're frozen. Oh, there we are.
And when there's a good one up there, I get wanting to keep them, but that's not the original plan. I think term limits are a must.
I think term limits are very important. Because the
longer you get there, the higher the chances are going to get that you're going to get somebody's going to say, hey, why don't you take a little of this for a little of that? And then the whole system gets nasty, as we've seen many times.
Well, term limits are important, I think Nancy Pelosi has been dead for years and we just don't know it. She's she's from the inside.
She's a Muppet. There's no question. There's not a question.
Like the old guys. There's a couple of them. The old Muppets.
I'm sure of it.
Oh, thank you. Just
sorry. Joe Biden he's one of the old guys in the balcony. He looks just like him. Have you not seen that meme?
Did you see the one where he goes, knock, knock? And,
I sent it to you.
Oh, it was you that sent it to me. Knock, knock. Who's there? And you
who's
said,
where? Who's where? Yeah.
Yeah, really.
That's mean because I feel like we're taking advantage. Honestly, at this point, I kind of almost feel bad about because my wife actually
brought this. They said yes, lifetime pay, lifetime privileges.
There you go. My wife brought this to my attention because her grandmother.
That you're mean?
Well, there's that. Her grandmother Gladys lived with us until she died 2-3 years ago, and we eventually got to a point where it was much better for us to put her somewhere. It was just like literally a quarter mile from our house, but real nice assisted living place. But she had really bad dementia. Oh. And the look on grandmother's face that when she got to that point,
where she was not there.
It's the look that he has. I'm telling you,
that far away look. I see that far away look in your eyes.
I feel like I'm making fun of somebody that is
of someone's grandfather
that's incapacitated. I'm making fun of like a handicap.
Well, we're not making. Well, yes, we are making fun.
No, I am.
We're making.
No question about it. Yeah.
Well, and there is the fine line in.
What do you do about that?
As a writer, or a comedian?
What would Jesus do?
Well, Jesus probably wouldn't be a stand-up comedian, although he had his funny moments.
Oh no, he's funny.
I think he's very funny. Yeah. What's some of your one of my favorite funny things that Jesus said? It's easier for a rich man to get. It's easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. Yeah. The vernacular of that day, that was sarcasm. I mean, he was being very, very funny, sarcastic. And I used to use that quote constantly for my mother as she spanked me with a hairbrush. You know, well, my mother would pick up whatever she could get close enough.
This will be a great quick stream of comments. What did your mother spank you with?
Well, that might be
no. My mother's
only
gone,
those who have been through therapy and are healed from the trauma can chime in. We're not going to push anybody over the edge here.
No. But when I was a kid, it was the real answer is what is nearby.
That's my mother. Whatever, it would be a fly swatter, a hairbrush.
The wrong end of the fly swatter.
Yeah, anything. And sometimes it would be something stupid that there's no way that's going to hurt. And you would almost just start laughing. And then that would make her really mad.
Dad, it was always the one thing. And you didn't even have to see it. You could hear it. The sound of a belt passing the loop that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
I know that sound.
Wow, what did I do to deserve this? Yeah.
I've been in therapy over that. So I have a hair.
And my mom would have a thing. She would actually give you the option to take the spanking or kneel down and pray about it.
Oh, mine too.
Yeah.
I would much rather have the spanking.
Always take the spanking.
My brother, I would start crying.
My brother would always take the spanking. I, however, mastered how to pretend to be spiritual early on. And would pray, which presents you with more problems down the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Did you ever go through therapy for all that?
Lots.
Should we start now?
I think we just did.
Look.
No, it's fine. It's just catching up.
Oh, I see. Good. Just want to make sure before the senator gets here.
Oh, yeah. Are you nervous?
No.
You started to say no, and then you stopped.
Yeah, a little bit in that I want to be appropriate always. That's what the first time I went to the White House and they had all the silverware. And
start at the outside, work your way in.
Well, that's what Glenda taught me. I asked her, she came and set my table one day so I could practice the silverware.
That's good.
And when I got to the White House and I found my seat, they had one fork. And I knew that was the Lord did that for me. But they did have a little spoon and a fork at the top of the plate.
Start at the top, come down.
Well, I put them in my purse because that just. So now I have 7 pieces of silverware. Every time I go, I collect another piece. I'm just kidding. I didn't steal the silverware. I forget the FBI could be watching.
Oh, no, they're watching.
No, but it was a really fancy dinner, and I was grateful they only had one. But they did have a little fork.
What did they serve? What'd you eat?
Some kind of chicken, of course. It was some kind of chicken on top. Everything was piled up. First at the bottom was mashed potatoes, then something crispy, then the piece of chicken on there, and then the green beans on top of that. Everything was like in a cute little pretty stack. I thought that was crazy. So I had to spend all the time
separating it all out.
Undoing the whole little fancy thing, yeah. Then the hard part is they had 8 glasses and 2 cups, a big coffee cup and a teeny tiny coffee cup. They had all these glasses, and Glenda and I had not even practiced the glasses. And I was the first one at my table when they would come and serve. And so, they would say, "Do you want this?" And I'd say, "Sure." And I said yes to everything. And it was like, "Would you like water in your water goblet?" "Yes." And they were waiting for me to hand it to them. They all look like fancy goblets to me. I said, "Go ahead, you can touch it. I don't mind."
Yeah.
Because I want to see where he put it. Well, then I wound up drinking everything out of every glass. White, red, no judging. The water, the tea, and then I spent the rest of the dinner having to pee so bad.
Well, of course you did.
I drank all of it. Thank you for that beautiful mood music.
I was trying to come up with, I know she's going to have to pee music, and I couldn't find it.
I have no pee music, but so yeah, it was wonderful. I've been there a lot. And here's what people ask me all the time: how can you support Donald Trump? How do you like this politician? Why do you like that? I judge for myself. As you well know, I don't search the internet and read I wait for you to come and tell me all the stuff. But I just go by my heart and my gut. And I've been in the room with him several times, and my heart and my gut tells me the man loves America. Now, he might not be very polished, but that's kind of what I love about him.
Yeah.
He reminds me of me.
Yeah.
I'm not polished.
Really?
No, shut your face. I'm not polished.
You're
Good
Polish?
Lord, somebody left a whole book for us.
Are you Polish? Wait.
Look at my... I got to get rid of this.
Do you?
I'm having surgery next week.
It's going by so fast. Are you going to get rid of that? What are you going to do with it?
I'm getting rid of this
put it somewhere else? Or are you going to...
I've had this tumor growing for 3 or 4 years. That's how that's going.
Oh, he's got too much money. The rich young ruler couldn't give it up. So
rich, yeah. Well, I've given all mine up. So.
I've given mine up.
So I'm in.
I've given all mine up.
I think rich people will be in heaven for heaven's
Bank of America
sakes.
had nothing to do with it. It was me giving it all up.
Rich is also relative too.
Well,
in my eyes, the way I grew up so poor, I feel like I'm very blessed. Really.
Well,
but I'm not rich. I know rich.
If you're in America and
you're
not at the absolute, and even there, you're in so much better position than so many of the people that are currently breathing on this planet. It's not even funny. You're at least blessed. If you're not rich, you're blessed to be here.
How you feel about the world opening up? We're all going back to work. Now, in Tennessee,
I'm fine with it.
And restaurants, of course, you and I, ever since this started.
I've been saying it since day 2, I think.
I've never worn a mask. Did you wear a mask ever?
I've worn a mask to the grocery store a couple of times because I felt like I was scaring people
by not having
one.
They look at you like.
Yeah. So my mother-in-law made me one. It's got like "We the People" across the bottom and a big American flag. And she made me one that says Trump 2020 just to freak them out a little bit.
Yeah.
And nobody did, quite frankly. My grocery store, they're like, awesome.
It's the first time in my life that everybody looks like bank robbers. Everywhere you go.
What do bank robbers wear now?
There's none. That's funny. We have really messed up the bank robbers. They have no idea what to wear.
Yeah.
I don't wear a mask. And I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I do wish I had a t-shirt that says I am well, or I am immune, or I have the antibody, or whatever will help them relax.
It is well with my antibodies.
It is well with my antibody. It is, it is a frightening. I mean, I know I don't want to frighten people, but what my doctor says, the mask is for if you have it, you won't spread it. So I always feel like I see people with the mask and I go, oh, they've got it. They're trying to kill me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why are you out? That's how I feel. We're not on your page, are we?
No, but we're going. I'm just somehow I've messed up something.
You've messed something up.
He says we're okay.
I know we have people today making sure this is good.
Yes.
So I don't know what's going on in your world. If you're excited to get back to work, if where you live, are you getting back to work? How do you feel about that going out in public? But I have made a list of where I will be eating first. So if you're afraid of me, I won't breathe on you and I won't hug you and I won't touch you. But I will go to every restaurant that I have missed so badly.
Right.
I have lost weight. My doctor said I lost 5 pounds during this whole thing because I've had to eat my own cooking. So next time you see me, I will be even more rotund, but I will be very happy.
Got some catching up to do.
Yes, I do. And I miss the mom and pop places in my county that have struggled. You know, Vocolo's my favorite little Italian restaurant. They've worked so hard to try to meet the needs of the crisis. They take food out to people's cars. You know, they're working themselves to death.
Now, are they all totally open here?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the big day?
This weekend, I think.
I miss the.
I'm going.
I miss.
How about your county?
Yeah.
They're open tomorrow?
Yeah. For the most
part. This weekend is the big time in Tennessee.
If you live actually in Davidson County, like in Nashville, no.
Really?
Not for a while.
Well, come on out to Cheatham
That's what happens when you.
Maybe it'll help our economy. Y'all come on out.
And they're raising property taxes. The mayor just announced he's going to try to raise property taxes 32% in Nashville.
Nashville's already hurting. The rent is outrageous.
That's what happens when you go left, or if you're watching at home, it's left.
Left.
Yeah.
Really? He's a lefty?
Well, he's certainly more liberal than
most. Yeah. Our governor.
Yeah.
So that's a nice.
Did you hear about the thing that happened? The church service they had last Sunday afternoon at the Williamson County Ag Expo?
No.
Unbelievable. 2,200 cars. And each of those cars had 3 or 4 people in them. And they had 20 churches that came together. They put up a big stage.
Like a drive-in.
Big stage, full sound and lights, big screens, all this stuff. And they had church. And it was awesome. I got to show you.
You went?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
See, Williamson County, that's where all the hotsy-totsy musicians live and the ritzy people. So somebody had the money to set up the stage and the lights.
All of us rich
Cheatham
people.
County does not have that. But we have cans and strings. I say we get all of our cans and our strings.
Here's my little girl standing up on the center
Jesus.
console. She's standing up on the center console.
Praising the Lord. Look at her.
There you go.
Is that adorable?
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Aww.
Yeah. But we had a great time. She was all about it.
Yeah.
She normally goes to what they call Kid City at our church, Church of the City. And so we know she's having a great time. We know she's learning stuff. But for us to actually be with her in a church setting, that was kind of the first time. And it was awesome. It was just so great. Yeah.
You know, that was always the hard thing, too, about when my kids were little. There was always the dilemma. My husband was such a daddy. And you know, the kids loved children's church and all, but he said there was such value in your kids learning to worship with their parents in the service. He wasn't so quick to send them. He wanted them to, you know, also he wanted them to learn you can sit still, you know, and not just pawn them off so quickly. But my daughter took to that. My daughter was a great worshiper, you know, and we would love as parents. It was so much fun to sit and watch our kids worshiping. It was so tender. Now Zach, not so much. He's a little ADD like his mother. He raised his hand. Okay, now I'd raise my hands. Let's go.
I was always on
still like that a little bit. Raise my hand. Said Sunday bye.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was on the second row, and
piano side.
Absolutely piano side, because my mom played the piano. And when she would get up to play the piano,
he doesn't know my material.
That's when I would get. I do know you did a whole record in life about piano side.
You did?
Yeah. That's the only thing I'm aware of. But yeah, I did see that.
But would she spank you?
Oh yeah.
Come off the pew in the church.
My brother he made the mistake of being on the aisle one night, and he was acting up in church thinking, well, he's preaching. He can't do anything about it. And my dad was right in the middle of, full blown Assembly of Godness and
Assemblies of Godness.
He just walked down off the platform and never broke stride, picked my brother up by one shoulder and smacked him on the butt a couple of times and set him back down and kept preaching, never stopped. It was awesome.
My father didn't do that, but he would snap his finger once in a while. Ooh. But he would make himself a list of which one of us was going to get a whooping.
Oh yeah, when I get you home.
I would always sneak as soon as church was over, and he'd come home. He had his big black Bible, and he'd set it by the back door, and we'd go in to eat Sunday dinner, and I would go in there and change the note. I would save the notes, and then I would swap them out if put Mike's notice.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
But he would remember.
Sometimes he did.
It would work occasionally?
Sometimes he did.
Wow.
Well, there's a whole long backstory about my dad, but yeah. But he also was one of those that believed if one of us
I'm not bored with your story. I just want to get ready for
If one of us was getting a whooping, we all had to get a whooping.
Oh, see, I disagree with that.
Us all. I do too.
I think that's wrong.
Well, also it makes you feel so responsible for one another. And I think that's what he was trying to say. But it also, then my two sisters passed, and I used to feel like must have been something I did wrong.
Right.
Because, I always caused them to get a whooping. Now I caused them to go to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There's that therapy.
A lot of parents, when I was growing up, a lot of parents would have the rule that if you got licks at school, if you got spanked at school, you got it again when you got home. And I thought that was just so wrong. My parents did not do that. They figured, hey, they took care of it.
It's a little cruel. Well, if you've got a question you would like, hi, Chonda and Gary. Hi. No. Oh, gosh.
What?
That's so funny. No, he's married. Yes, he's married.
He's married.
And I actually like his wife more than I like him. Yeah. He's got a record. Yeah. I've missed a call from my son twice. Mary Beth is watching us. Hi, Mary Beth. And if you've got a particular question, we really will try to ask Marsha, Senator Blackburn, some of your stuff, some of your concerns.
And we have already seen, I've seen them going by. Yeah. We don't expect everybody to agree with her or us or I don't expect anybody to agree with me. I rarely agree with myself, but that's not true. What are you doing? I'm
trying to get you more in the picture.
I'm fine. But that's not what this is about. We're just interacting with somebody that's up there that actually does have personal knowledge and an intense, from what I've observed, she definitely loves this country. She loves the state of Tennessee. And she's, I've never seen her do anything untoward ever. No. And she's generally standing up for the people that need standing up for. She's extremely pro-life. She's about as far right as you can get and still get elected.
And do you feel like, here's what I worry. That's going to be harder and harder for a conservative to get elected because of the momentum of the media and how they don't like, but I don't
think so.
I think
it's going to go the other way.
I do too. I think what's happening is just they're going to fuel it more and more and more.
This would be a good question to get you guys to yes or no. It's only going to take 3 or 2 letters, depending on your answer. Yes or no. Do you trust the majority of the mainstream media outlets that you see, the big TV networks, the major newspapers? Do you trust them to tell you the truth or not? Here we go.
Boy, no, look, and our Facebook just gets turned off.
Oh, look, we're not on. Bye.
Bye. We just hung ourselves. Nobody. I don't trust hardly any of them. And to be honest with you, I don't watch Fox News nonstop. I get a lot of my news from particular outlet, the Stream. I get that. No. Now, they have such a credibility problem.
That may have been a hell no that went by really quickly.
I think Georgia Good Episcopalian, no. No, not trust MSM.
Mostly no.
Do not. No, absolutely no.
Okay. Well, yes. All right.
Somebody said a yes.
I see that hand. We have a yes.
Kathy says yes.
That's
She
okay.
trusts them.
Let her say it. That's okay.
No, I'm not fussing.
So clearly the majority
doesn't.
Not so much. Them. So that's the point. I don't think those people have the power that they want us to think they have anymore. They've abused it so much. And as Americans, we're not instinctively stupid. We're not. There's a bunch of us that are boneheads without question.
Yeah.
Me part of the time.
Yeah.
But no, we're not idiots. We know what's going on. It's in our guts. I think people have an innate ability to know whether or not something is true or not. If you really listen to your heart, you know. And that's what you're seeing here. That's what you're going.
I do think.
Oh, there's another hill. No.
Look what I started. When they're lying, when their lips are moving. Oh, that's a good joke. I have a hard time when people go, "Oh, they did this whole virus to bring down the world and to bring down Trump." I just don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that people would hate somebody so much that they were really willing to ruin your life.
Well,
I just don't want to believe that.
Well, you need to believe that they'll do that. Yeah, they will.
Oh,
yeah, they
Gary.
will. No, of course they will. The power doesn't care. Greed doesn't care. It doesn't.
It's just, I hate to believe that.
Well, I hate to believe it as well. Now, do I think?
I don't want to put voice to it.
I don't think we will ever know if it came from a monkey or
a bat,
some fool. Is it a bat?
China.
It was a bat this time.
It's supposed to be in China. It was a monkey last time. SARS was a monkey, wasn't it?
We got to get rid of all the animals and we'll be okay.
Oh, don't let PETA hear you say that. Lord have mercy. PETA's probably thrilled. Now they'll stop eating all those animals. They do eat some funky stuff in China, though.
Have you ever been to one of those places?
I've been in Ethiopia. They had a place that ate some funky things.
Senator's going to call in 10 minutes, and we're going to be in the middle of me telling you about a market that I went to in Taipei years ago.
And you ate something funky?
I didn't eat anything. It all scared me. But those people
eat.
They believe that if you drink the blood, wait for it, of a freshly killed snake, the more venomous, the more power. If you drink that, you will get its power. They do. And I sat and watched men line up to pay
to drink it.
Plenty of cash to drink that stuff.
Is it like a Viagra power? Is that the power you're talking about?
I'm sure it would help.
Oh my! At your age,
I'm sure it might help me.
Come
to think of it, if you've got a snake and you don't mind giving it up, send it
over to my. Cassie goes, send it over. That is so.
No, Cassie said, don't give him a snake. He's already got.
Gosh, I hope Eva Rose is taking her lessons right now because Cassie's going to kill us. She's been sent to topic. Thank you. They do. I know that there are people that believe in, like, is it India, where animals can just roam in the streets and you're not allowed to shoo them or hit them.
The best thing you can be in India is a cow. It's true. Leave it alone.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
First rule in comedy: leave the easy ones alone. No.
Best thing I could be is a cow. And then he looks at me.
No, they worship them.
I know. I wish we would adopt that.
Just bowed to you. You didn't even see it.
I saw you. Who was it? The meme I saw not long ago. I know why the Renaissance paintings were always of hefty women, naked, hefty women. That's what all the paintings are going to look like when this is over.
Oh, that's
quarantine is over.
Yeah.
I have the quarantine 15. Keep talking, Spencer's colleague.
Okay.
Hello, my friend.
Hello. How are you? Oh, that's her guy. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Hi.
Okay.
How are you?
All right. See you in a little bit.
That was the heads up call that she's going to call?
Yes.
Did she just blow us off? She said, no, I've been watching. And if they're talking about drinking snake blood, I'm not getting on.
This, I will say, and it's fortunate that we are friends with Senator Blackburn, and that's very sweet. And it's very sweet of her to do this, but because, I was just watching her the other day. She's on CNN and Fox News. She's on all these big talk shows. It's like, now she's on with Gary and Chonda. What are we talking about? Snake blood.
Would you like some?
Well, I will say this. I think what would be an interesting thing to talk about is the she is big into the finance committee for the country,
Yep.
and trying so hard to bring down the debt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know I'm kind of black and white and not as brilliant in some of these areas, but I think if China is culpable for some of this problem,
Sue them for everything.
let them wipe out some of our debt.
Sue them for everything.
I think just mark it off. Tell them, hey, we ain't paying you. Shut us down.
Here is an answer.
What?
But they're never probably going to ever do it. You know, just the whole. I think the Hebrews call it Shemitah. Jubilee. They had a system to where I think it was every 7 years,
they wipe out your debt.
Everybody's debt's gone. Everybody starts over.
So just before that 7-year mark, you should just go
run
try
up
to
your.
collect.
Oh, it's a party.
Or you go try to collect.
It's a crazy party.
You hide. If you have a lot of debt, you hide before.
Yeah. Think about what the world would be like
if we just wipe out the debt.
If we didn't have all that hanging over our heads, and what would.
But we use that against other countries too.
What should we?
Well, sometimes that's the only way you can keep some of them in line a little bit. I know that sounds dictatorial, and I don't mean it that way.
We were talking about this earlier about how to deal. We were actually talking about the healthcare system. On one side, you've got, if you privatize it all, the greed's going to take over, and insurance companies are still going to put all the prescription prices out the roof. If you take it all in the government, we know what they're going to do. They're going to bureaucracy us to death.
Yes,
it's going to screw it up. The only real answer is trust. You've got to trust, and the only way you can trust is revival. That's it, because none of us can fully trust each other. We can only choose to trust God, and if we all get back to Him, we all own our crap and give ourselves to Him. A lot of these issues are going to go away. They'll be gone.
But if that's true, there are some wonderful Christian politicians.
There you go.
It sounds like an oxymoron, but it does happen.
No, there's
I believe in Martha's love for the Lord. Yep. I believe there's so many people that really love God. And speaking of, it's trouble now.
In your big time trouble.
It's so good to see you, my friend.
Oh, it's so good to see you. Get those glasses off. Look,
I know. I have to see you good. Listen, we only have a few minutes, and I'm diving right in because you missed it. We were just talking about how Gary and I have the problems. We have the problem solved of the world.
We've got it all figured out.
Oh, that's wonderful. I am looking forward to your advice.
Yeah. We were trying to say, if you had a chance to talk with the Senator Marsha Blackburn, what would you ask her? And I said, I'm going to ask her, how are you keeping your roots done? Because my hair is looking terrible.
I think we know what mine's looking like. So,
yeah. Gary Chapman does not have that problem.
No.
That's right.
It is wonderful to see you, by the way. And
to see you.
It's great. I'm grateful that you're at work. And so I was laughing earlier saying I am a gig employee. Mm-hmm. And so I've been out of work for a while, and I'll probably still be out of work for a while. And so if I don't work, I don't get paid. So I was wondering, can we not pay Congress?
Well, I tell you, I've been working 7 days a week, and my team has been working 7 days a week. And we have not stopped, and it's important to do. We think it's important to do to make certain that people have their needs met, and that people that have had issues with unemployment insurance or some of the health issues or the SBA 7A loans, we have worked nonstop on that. So I start my days early. Even though I'm learning how to be a safer at home senator. I start early and then I finish late. I'm starting my first calls probably in the 7 o'clock hour, and I'm finishing sometimes around 10:30. I take a break for dinner. You know, Chuck Blackburn has to have somebody cook his dinner every night.
Yeah, you're a working woman, and you got to bring home the bacon and fry it up in
the pan.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yes.
We were curious. We were asking our viewers all kinds of stuff before you got on, A lot of it would, of course, we like to chide the media a little bit.
A lot.
A lot. And I said, my other question for her is, where's the first place you're going to eat when this is over? Where's the first restaurant you want to, slip into?
You know what? Chuck and I were talking about that the other night. He said, well, can't we go to Ludlow and Prime and eat, which is right here in our neighborhood? And we do love going there. And, we were talking last night after dinner. He said, is Baskin Robbins open?
That's exactly right. Someone said, oh, I wish there were still drive-in movies. I said, there is. It's an iPad and Sonic.
Right.
Take your kids with an iPad and go to Sonic.
Nancy Pelosi's got all the ice cream. You got to go there. She's got it cornered the market.
Believe
that was shocking.
I mean, the fact that she opens her $24,000 freezer and shows her $12 a pint ice cream.
Yeah.
Right.
Really?
And people are hurting. It's not even smart. I'm all for having people having nice things. That's certainly their business. And it's certainly her freedom to do that. And how great she lives in a country where she can have all that. But it's not even smart to show that to your hurting constituents that are out of work and losing their businesses right now.
You have 30 million Americans that have filed for unemployment. 30 million. We have 437,000 Tennesseans that are out of work.
Lots of
money. And for her to show her basket of gourmet chocolates with her shoulder around her sweater around her neck, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, I really could not believe the insensitivity. I just pray every day that God will use this time and that he will prop up people and people will fall in love again with their families and their faith. And, I just don't get the understanding for what she did. It made no sense. It made no sense.
Can I ask you one serious question?
Yeah. No, Gary.
No. No,
Gary.
I just want your thoughts because this whole thing intrigues me, and I personally think it's kind of the tip of the iceberg, and I want to see the rest of the iceberg. How do you feel about General Flynn?
I'm so glad you asked that. What a good question. I think that it is the tip of the iceberg. And you had General Flynn, you had the president, the vice president. Everybody kept saying, something's not right about this. This has to be a setup. And as we have gotten to know more about what happened with Carter Page and George Papadopoulos, General Flynn has contended that this was a setup. And now we have not only the emails, we have the handwritten notes.
Yep.
Yes.
And it just shows you Jim Comey's arrogance. I just put something out on Twitter a little bit ago. The absolute arrogance of how he acted when they thought they had him.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to take down Donald Trump. And they have used everything. It was going to be collusion. It was going to be Russia. It was going to be the Ukraine. It was going to be impeachment. But Donald Trump is the right man for the times. He steered our country back to economic prosperity. He will do it again. This coronavirus, we've got our state opening up. Other states are opening up. I'm serving on the president's committee to get the country opened back up. And let me tell you something, people are ready to go to work.
Yes.
Did you ever think you would see people out protesting in the streets saying, let us work?
Yeah.
And our mutual friend, Chris Jansen, did a great song, Put Me Back to Work. And he sent it to me. I just love it. I said, this ought to be the anthem. People are ready to go back to work.
I agree.
Do you have some questions from folks?
Oh, yeah, from folks all over the country, all over our little viewership. What do you think about opting out of coronavirus test if you're in a nursing home? I don't know about opting out of the test.
We would like for individuals to get the test. I think the test would be insightful. Not everybody has been symptomatic.
Yeah.
I have a friend right now. She and her husband have tested positive, but they really weren't sick. And Chuck and I were talking about that this morning. He said, "Oh, did you know so and so and so and so had coronavirus?" And I said, "No, I didn't." And he said they felt like it was like having a cold.
Yeah.
You know, they really weren't ill. So I think people want to know, did I have allergies, or was it a cold, or was it COVID-19? So I think getting a test tells you if you need a vaccine or if you have immunity.
Right. We were saying that about a month ago. I said, I think we've had it. I think I've had it. Gary says he recalls time he thought he was having allergies. I said, I think I have it. Now I just want to wear a t-shirt that says, I'm okay, you're okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay, don't be afraid of me. Yeah.
Right.
I'm okay. Can I have a hug? That's what I want.
No,
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
one of those people that I've never had a flu shot and I never get the flu. I suspect I might actually have it and not have any symptom, not even think I had it. I may have had it and not even cared. I think there's a bunch of people like
Listen, I know somebody else who had tested positive and they've not been sick one day.
Yeah.
And I think
they had no
idea. Happen. And so my thought is, what does it hurt? Go ahead and go have the test. What does it hurt? It gives you information is always powerful. So go get some information, because my number one thing is I may not be sick and I may not, and that's a blessing, but I don't want to make someone else sick.
Right.
That is right.
And especially the more vulnerable human being. I don't want to make
That's
them
right.
sick. Yeah.
That's right.
So I won't go hug them.
So you're on
unless I'm somebody I don't like, I might hug all over them.
So you're up to your eyeballs in what I think is the growing problem as opposed to the lessening problem with COVID. And that's the money side. The finance committee's got to be really, really looking at this deeply. What are your feelings moving forward? How quickly can we get back? I personally think that we are so resilient, and we're also currently starving to death to get back at it. That might be an amazing V waiting for us. What do you
That's
think?
right. And that's the way to think about it. A V-shaped recession instead of a U or an L.
Yeah.
And that is what you want to think in terms of. The financial recession in 2008 was a U. Depression was an L.
Yeah.
So let's say, all right, we're going to get ourselves out of this. And
L no.
What we have done so far, what we've done so far is rescue, and now we're focusing on restart and recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to, one of the things we're going to do, people say, how much money are you putting in the phase 4 bill? Well, phase 4 may be very little money. It could be no money. But what we need to do is get some rules and regulations off the book that have not been helpful.
Right.
Things that we waived during the COVID crisis because they slowed the process. Why do we need them? Let's get them off the book.
Absolutely.
That's
Agreed.
a great point.
Yeah. So, rules and regulations that are harmful, get rid of them. Look at tax credits, not a tax deduction, but a credit for employers who are spending money to disinfect their workplace, to buy shields to go between tables at a restaurant or stations at a salon. They need a dollar for dollar tax credit because they're incurring an incredible amount of expense to get those businesses open. Another idea, and Tim Scott and I have talked a little bit about this. What if you take the opportunity zone rules, which is leave your money invested for 10 years and it's kept gains free? You're not going to pay that tax. What if we did that for distressed businesses like we've done?
That's a great idea.
And had from now to the end of the year, basically a cap gains holiday for that money that was invested.
That's a great idea.
How do you feel about the payroll tax being rolled back?
I'm all for it. See, I'm one of those. I've always said, why do I have to pay the federal government to employ somebody?
Thank you.
Right.
Why do I have to pay the federal government? They didn't find the employee.
Nope.
They didn't train the employee.
They're not paying
they
them.
had nothing to do with the employee. So why am I paying them?
Right.
So this is one of those taxes that maybe we need to rethink this, and a payroll tax holiday just might get the job done.
Yep.
Right. Wow. Powerful. I'm so
Yes.
glad you're there. We were talking about that earlier. We love people that we know, that we believe in, but also are strong in their faith. And I feel that way about our president for such a time as this. We
Yes.
have a fella in the White House that loves prayer, believes in prayer, but also it doesn't hold back. You know, he just no holds barred. He goes in there like a bulldog.
Right.
And
I think he's hilarious.
I do too. I think it's funny. You know, as a comedian, I get lots of material, Marsha.
Yeah.
Exactly. But we need that. We need that frank. We need someone so frank, you know. But
Yes.
I love that you are so level-headed and you're really honest and everything. And I don't know what keeps you from throwing up your hands and going, these people are crazy here in Washington. You know, it has to be your own personal faith that keeps you sane.
Well, I know that God has put me here for a reason and for a purpose. And I think that is one of those things that is just so vitally important for people to keep in mind. At the end of the day, God's in charge.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that what we should do is rely on that knowledge.
Right.
So that's what I do every day, and just grateful to be there.
We're so grateful that you're there.
Yes.
Me too.
Any good questions? We've had some good ones. I know that you're big in helping us with our debt in America, but if you could talk China into just letting ours go.
Well, that's one of my proposals. You know,
Really?
they own $1 trillion of our debt.
Mm.
And wouldn't it be a wise thing, since this has cost us about $6 trillion so far, they should waive their payments when that debt comes due, when it matures.
Yep.
Great
And
idea.
we should broach that possibility with them, give them the opportunity to do the right thing.
Right.
I think it would be a wise step.
I think it would be too. It's so good to talk to you. I can't believe we got
Good
to have
talking
you
to
for a little
you.
while.
And
Love you
all
dearly.
of your viewers and friends can follow us on Twitter and
Yes.
Facebook and Instagram. You'll find it at Marsha Blackburn. And if you've got questions about how to apply for unemployment or the
Right.
SBA loans, all of that's on my website, blackburn.senate.gov.
And
Sweet.
your newsletter is awesome.
It is
I
great.
love
Thanks.
it.
Yes, you can sign up for the newsletter on the website.
Yes.
It's good stuff.
Good to see you, Marsha.
Good to see you. Love you guys. Take
Love
care.
you.
Bye now.
See ya.
Love that woman.
Is she gone? Is she gone yet? Okay.
She's gone.
What did you really want to ask? No, I'm kidding.
Stop. I think we really got some good
No, that was
information
good.
there.
That was good. Yeah.
Boy, the payroll tax thing, that was smart. She's so smart. Look, how do you think?
No mail-in voting. We should have brought that up.
Oh,
They're pushing for that.
yeah. Okay, next time.
Yeah.
Let's have another politician that we like. Or let's have one we don't like. Put
I
him
think
in.
we need to get Trump to do this with us.
Put him.
You know him. He'll do it.
He doesn't have time for that. Let's get Fauci. I think he's funny.
Okay.
He's just a crotchety old man. Don't you ever think that? Is that the word? Is that the right word?
I just want him to clear his throat one time.
Exactly.
Just one time. That's how you do it. If you're watching.
Yeah. And
No, he must have something because it's constant. It's not. It's just there all the time.
drippage, drainage. Did you see Brad Pitt's dry opening for Saturday Night Live the other night?
No, I don't watch
He
that.
dressed up as Fauci.
Did he really?
It was good. He
Yeah.
was really, really good. He was interpreting for the president. You know, and I watch all this stuff. I will watch something that the president says, and you flip over to another channel, and they say the exact opposite of what he was saying. He never said drink Lysol. That's not what the point was. The point was that he knows we're brilliant. Come up with something that cleanses
Well, the interesting thing, like everybody focused on the Lysol,
Yeah.
but that thing that he said
about disinfectant.
about putting the light, the UV light down inside. Do you know that's happening?
That's really a thing.
That's a thing. There's a company that has invented a device that if someone is intubated, it goes down that pipe and it puts that light inside the lungs and it kills the virus. He
Yeah.
was right.
Is that the same thing that you put on to make your teeth white?
Pretty much the same thing. Yeah. Yeah.
I could be
It's
killing
nothing at all
germs.
like that, by the way. Bless you. He tried so hard to not sneeze, but it happened.
Tommy sneezed. Were you laughing at me?
Was that COVID?
Tommy
Was
is
that
really-
COVID? Was that it? Okay.
Okay. Are you lying? That's not the same UV light?
I don't think so. That's
Oh.
well,
That
that
whites your
is
teeth.
UV. Maybe I don't know if it's the same spectrum. I have
Well,
no
if I
idea.
put it in my mouth long enough, it'll kill halitosis.
Yeah. Well, there's answers.
And now you
that are
know
out there.
why I became a comedian and not
Not a doctor.
a doctor. I
Yes.
was in nursing school. I dropped out of nursing school.
Tell me how that happened.
That
Why'd you
was not
quit?
an easy conversation with my mother.
Why did you quit?
Because I wanted to be a comedian. I wanted to be an actress.
So there wasn't anything in it you didn't like.
Okay, well, the chemistry part was a little hard.
Was it hard? You had to add? Really? They didn't have
I
calculators
had to
back then.
memorize charts.
There were no calculators
I don't
back
do
then, so you had to actually cipher.
You know, I can do this kind of abuse without you here.
You had to know your gazintas.
Ah, what a great day. I hope you're having a great day. It's beautiful here in Tennessee.
It is fabulous.
And you got to get out. Don't spend all your time inside. Get out, even if it's just sit on the porch. Push back on the dark. Constantly, I tell people that all the time. They want to go, "How are you doing it? How you doing?" I go, "I push back sometimes, and it's hard. My little puppy dog is getting old. He's not doing good.
Is he getting any better?
A little bit. You know, your idea with the CBD oil is a good idea. The
Remind me, I've got some.
for the pet, yeah. I brought that up so he would have to say it in public.
Now I'm
That
committed.
now he's committed to giving me some. That's important. He's just, and then, so he went to the vet yesterday, and she was telling me all these things we can do now for his pain and this, that, and the other. And then, but the bottom line was, but he's just old. You know?
Yeah.
But it's just old. And
He's 105. Right?
So-
Dog years?
well, he's 15.
That's 105.
He looks pretty good for 100.
He looks fabulous for 105.
Wow, when you put it that way, he
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
old. I don't know if I'm gonna get another pet. I can't have a broken heart anymore.
No, you'll get another one. Don't you say that after every pet? I do.
Yeah, but this was mine.
Yeah, well,
The other dog,
you know how many dogs I've had in the course of my life, and they were all mine.
well, that's a God thing. But I remember when my daughter's cat got hit by a car, and my sensitive son, who's so much like me, goes out in the road and shouts really loud, "That's okay. Now we can get a turtle." He gets a little bit of his goof off from his mother, but all that to say, that's no lead up to any song that we need, but I cannot go have this day without Gary singing. So we love you. We hope you've had a great day. Did we get as many questions as we could? We're going to keep doing this every Thursday. And I like kind of doing it in the daytime.
Yeah, I don't care.
I
It's
like
all
the
good for me.
sunshine coming through.
We'll check the analytics and see if
And we'll get back to
see if
you.
they agree with us, because they will tell us by the numbers, the data.
Oh, yeah. He's big on the data.
No, I am.
I'm not big on the data. I don't even know how to get that on my phone. The data. I can't even get a date, much less a data.
I knew that was coming.
Ba-dum-bum.
When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. my sin, oh, the thought of this glorious thought. My sin, not in part, but in whole. It's nailed to the cross, and I bear it no more. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, oh, my soul. It is well with my soul.
With my soul.
It is well. It is well with my soul. It is well.
It is well
With my soul.
with my soul.
It is well. It is well with my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul.
See you guys.
Bye.
Fun day.